This is China Gateway 360. Siemens changed its office game, and here's why. So they consolidated their Shanghai headquarters and essentially slashed their real estate footprint by 42%. But the real story here is the dual impact. By implementing smart workspace design, they unlocked annual savings of 8.6 million RMB, and at the exact same time, they dropped their R&D staff turnover by 31%. It's a massive win on both fronts.
To really understand how big of a shift this was, we need to look at their 2019 baseline. Back then, their seat utilization was sitting at just 57%, yet they were paying around 12 million RMB a year for highly fragmented space. On top of that, 62% of their staff felt the environment was just too noisy and crowded. Naturally, that drove a 19% churn rate in R&D. And when you consider that replacing just one senior engineer cost a steep 600,000 RMB, you can see how fast that adds up.
That level of inefficiency triggered a major transformation. Post-optimization, Siemens pulled off a staggering 72% cost reduction. Well, a big part of how they did that was relocating from a Grade A space in Lujiazui, which ran about 12 RMB per square meter, over to a flex partner in Zhangjiajiang at just 5.5 RMB. Plus, they shifted to a shorter, much more agile lease structure.
At the heart of this new layout is what we call activity-based working, or ABW, which breaks the office down into 5 distinct functional zones. The real centerpiece here is the 0.7-to-1 desk-to-employee ratio. You might wonder how that actually works, but it functions completely seamlessly, because their field engineers and sales staff are only on site about 2 to 3 days a week anyway.
China Gateway. Gateway.
Your gateway to business in China.
Now, let's look at the financial ripple effect of this model because it is substantial. Over a 5-year projection, their total operational costs absolutely plummeted, going from 60 million RMB all the way down to 25.2 million. That frees up 34.8 million RMB in pure net savings, and that is capital that flows directly back into R&D headcount and their overall profit margins.
But this optimization isn't just about slicing costs. It's also heavily about cultural localization to drive retention. They managed to drastically reduce the average commute time to just 38 minutes. Plus, they brought in targeted amenities that local teams actually want, like tea-house-style meeting rooms with round tables, alongside dedicated mother's rooms and nap rooms. These specific touches directly stabilize their workforce.
So how do you apply this to your own WFOE? Well, your strategy is going to depend entirely on your headcount and your specific operational needs. If you have a remote-heavy team with over 80 employees, the ABW model we just talked about is ideal. But if you handle sensitive data and require strict security, a hybrid fixed desk setup is definitely the safer bet. And for early-stage market entries with under 30 employees, taking advantage of a premium co-working space remains your most efficient starting point.
Execution, of course, comes with its own set of risks. You'll want to avoid these 3 common pitfalls. First, don't just force a standard Western open-plan layout without installing proper acoustic partitions. Second, do not ignore local feng shui principles. Things like poor desk alignment genuinely cause staff anxiety. And finally, avoid getting locked into rigid 10-year leases. They will completely trap you if your headcount grows rapidly. To safeguard against those risks, executives need to take immediate action. Start by auditing your actual daily desk occupancy. Find out who is really in the office. Then, mandate your real estate teams to negotiate flexible 3+2+2 lease structures. And of course, always run complete total cost simulations before you make any long-term commitment.
Ultimately, smart workspace design is no longer just an HR issue. It's a board-level strategy that drives financial efficiency and secures top talent. Comment guide and get our office optimization tips.